Hey everyone, Vamex here, and I just wanted to go over the Q&A that Volition did over on the Saints Row Discord server for Saints Row 2022. I'm going to be going over some general updates they gave, some specifics for the first DLC, Heist the Hazardous, which is coming out on May 9th, and the second DLC as well, Doc Ketchum's Murder Circus, and all the information they provided for us with those three categories. So first off, for general updates, those of you who are still waiting for the Saints Row 2 PC patch, which is much needed, they said it's still being worked on. They're committed to honoring Idle Ninja's wishes to complete the project, which is nice, and they're discussing it with Deep Silver and Gearbox. So hopefully we'll continue to hear more updates on that, because that's something I'm personally really looking forward to. There's currently no plans for a remaster for the first and second game. I am someone who enjoyed the remaster of 3. I would like to see a remaster of 1, potentially putting it on PC, so I don't need to bust out an Xbox to play it. That'd be nice. In terms of the current game, they won't be able to add mission or cutscene replay, unfortunately. There's a technical issue with them being able to let us wear both a jacket and a chain, which kind of stinks. They're not planning to do any new radio stations. This update, as with all the other ones, has quality of life fixes and optimizations. Internally, they're seeing improvements on all platforms, which is nice. I'm still personally having issues with co-op on the PC version. Saints Row is still planned to come to Steam. No new updates planned for NPC behavior like in the overworld, so similar to the system in Saints Row 2 where like you could come across random fights between like gangs and police. Sadly, the Nobody Loves Me store for Saints Row 3 and 4 will not be returning. They're adding custom vehicle nicknames. Photo mode is also being added, which is pretty cool. In terms of weather, a couple people were asking about rain. Sadly, they're not adding rain, but they are adding some different weather types. A couple more skills are planned to be added in the future. Sadly, for all you Nuale fans, there's not going to be a zombie Nuale, which I think would have been cool. Hopefully they change their minds on that. They're improving pedestrian density, which is really nice because even after they did, I believe they did an update before for this, it sadly didn't have as much of an impact as I was hoping. Streets can still feel kind of barren when you're driving around, so hopefully this fixes that. And sadly, the last thing we have here for general updates is they are not going to be adding takedowns on NPC pedestrians, meaning that you still have to aggravate them and they have to attack you in order to perform a takedown. That's for general updates. Moving on to updates for our DLC, again called the Heist and the Hazardous, that we saw initially on the roadmap. This update is coming out May 9th, so pretty soon. In total, it's going to have 3 new missions. One of the missions is going to be the longest they've ever made. There's going to be a new headquarters for the Saints. So in addition to the church and the Saints Tower you can build, there's going to be new outfits for Nina, Kevin, and Eli, which I'm presuming are the ones that we can see on the key art here. The new district, as we already knew about, Sunshine Springs, which is part of the free update for everybody. Combat overhaul. So this is something that was really important to me and some people I've spoken with. They are smoothing out aiming, lowering enemy health, and increasing the time to interrupt backup calls. So they say that this will help combat feel a little faster. Personally, I've always had an issue with this game, with enemies feeling a little spongy, even when I turn the slider all the way down for enemy health. So hopefully this will bring back that gameplay loop of one-tap headshots that I would always do in like Saints Row 2 and 3 when running around the streets. It's something I really like to see. I never found a big issue personally with the backup call interruptions, but it'll be nice to be able to get rid of that if I want to. And then we'll have to see how aiming feels when we play it, when the update comes out. I'm on PC, so aiming has never felt like too bad for me, but I don't know about console. Next, in terms of just things that are new, we have new DLC vehicles, new pop-up stores with new cosmetics, as well as rewards for completing the missions. There is a new event called the Kaiju's Wingsuit event, I believe that's how you say it, which is just going to be wingsuit challenge courses, which is also going to let us unlock new wingsuits with that as well. There's going to be new collectibles for the headquarters, of course. A new weapon called Pain and Gain, which they describe as a heavy weight on the end of a launcher, and you can also use it to propel yourself into the air to start wingsuiting from anywhere, which is pretty cool. New hidden history discoverables, of course, in the new district, and there will be new hidden history in the new district as well that comes with a third DLC. And then they're also going to be shipping some new hairstyles and some fixes for challenges, which I still have a save file that's still bugged with challenges, so maybe that'll help that. And then they're also, once again, hopefully this time, fixing the gun color customization. They put out a fix for that earlier last year, and unfortunately, it did not fix it for me personally, so I'm hoping this one does. So yeah, for DLC 1, I mean, it sounds like a decent amount of stuff. I'm excited for it. I like that we're going to be able to actually do a real heist this time, instead of the letdown that was kind of the let's pretend activities, because when I saw that we were building a crew and doing a heist for those, I was pretty excited about it, and I was very let down that we were just a getaway driver. So the fact that we actually have to do a heist will be pretty cool. Hopefully it's fun, and based on how the game is gone, we probably won't have any like choices whether to go loud or stealthy, but hopefully the actual mission itself is still a fun experience. The new wingsuit event sounds cool. I like finding the wingsuit. Happy to get a new headquarters to explore and look around. The combat overhaul should be nice. There's some new emotes being added as well, I forgot to mention, which will be cool. Interested in trying out the new, what seems to be another gimmick weapon, which this game desperately needs more of. And yeah, excited to try this one out. And then we did get a little bit of info on the second DLC, which is coming in July, Doc Ketchum's Murder Circus. Now, initially, I wasn't too intrigued by this because it's just a single-player mode they were advertising, and it's not like a full-story DLC. However, based on what they've been telling us about it in this Q&A, I'm a little more intrigued. So, first off, someone was asking about cheat codes. If you're someone who loves cheat codes in Saints Row is kind of famous for that kind of stuff. They're a lot of fun. Cheat codes are coming back with the Murder Circus DLC, which is pretty cool. It'll just be a new app on the phone. The update will introduce this Murder Circus mode where we won't be playing as the Saints. We'll be playing as set characters, and that will include characters that are in this first Heist DLC as well. So hopefully some of the new guys are pretty cool, so they'll be fun to play as in the second DLC. They didn't say if the third DLC characters will be retroactively added to it, but we'll have to see when we get there. And the big interesting thing, multiple people asked about the possibility of returning characters from the older Saints Row games, like Shondi, Pierce, Genki, Gat, all those guys. And multiple times they said that they have a fun surprise for fans related to the older games planned for the Murder Circus DLC. So for me personally, I see that as potentially like Murder Circus will be a Genki activity style thing from Saints Row 3. Probably not like the super powered version of Saints Row 4, obviously, but more in line with what we had in Saints Row 3. And I imagine we're going to be able to play that as a single player mode with set characters, and that will include maybe like Professor Genki or Gat, hopefully Pierce or Shondi, I'm hoping for. Honestly, if I had it my way, we'd also see some Agents of Mayhem characters in there. I was happy to see Agents of Mayhem at least referenced at the Volition pop-up store in Santo Ileso, which was pretty cool. I'm a big fan of that game, so I'd love to see characters from it come back. I don't want them to stay stuck in there, but if I'm being logical, it's probably just going to be Saints Row characters. If it's more than one, obviously I'll be ecstatic. If it's like just Gat, then I'll be happy too, as long as they bring in back the voice actors and we get to enjoy those characters again. Even if it's a non-canon appearance, that's still okay. It'll be fun to just get some new lines and see them again. It's been a while, so there's some things that I'm sad about, like some customization things and some general gameplay things that I'm not too thrilled about, but in terms of the stuff that they're adding and what's new, I'm excited. I'm into it. I will be covering this DLC here on YouTube and over on TikTok. I'll be putting out videos on the new outfits and the areas and the missions and the new vehicles. Hopefully I'll also be streaming the DLC in its entirety. It's only 3 missions. One of them is supposed to be really long, but I'll probably be able to use a second save to do that over on Twitch. But yeah, that's all I got for this recap. Let me know what you guys think. Are you excited? Do you not care? Yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching, everybody.